Take me home, cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Yeah, where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here?
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to another live stream. A little bit earlier today, as I am going to be a little bit busier this evening. But nevertheless, we are going to talk about Bitcoin and what is currently going on with Bitcoin, how I'm positioned, what I'm looking at, what I'm looking for next, all of that juicy stuff, of course, and of course any trades that I am in as well, as you can tell by the title from the video that I have pretty much just opened a long trade on Bitcoin, and I have already taken some profits on that. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about why I have entered into that long trade. We will talk about kind of where I'm expecting to take this long trade and any potential trades that, of course, we can look for in the near-term future. So if that does all sound interesting, then please do make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Really helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content to you. And of course, if you haven't already, please do subscribe and turn that bell notification on so you don't miss any updates like this. But enough of that. Let's jump into the charts. Let's take a look at what is going on. So It's been a while since I've entered into a trade. In all honesty, ever since that long trade setup from all the way down here that I took, of course, just unfortunately got stopped out by literally a couple $100. So unfortunately, didn't take advantage of this. Or move towards the upside on the trading account. Okay, again, like I said in the previous live streams, we do have that HODL portfolio. I have got that HODL portfolio, so of course I'm still taking advantage of it, but just not in of course that trading portfolio. But now, of course, like I said, I am in a long trade. And I am taking advantage of this rise that we are seeing right now, and I will be taking advantage of any rise up to all-time high, if that is what we are going to see from this point. So let's let's go back a little bit to let's go back to, what was it, 2 o'clock earlier today, which was literally 2 hours ago, pretty much, when I entered into this long trade. And let's do just a little bit of a rundown of why I've entered into this long trade and what kind of factors led me to entering into the long trade, right? So here you can see at 2:04 p.m. today, which was literally 2 hours and 4 minutes ago, I told the team just took a small long trade here. Okay, now the support here was immense. I love the support, and in terms of what we were seeing aligning with that was 10 times as good, right? So telling the team here that nice intraday support with the weekly naked point of control, the fib, and the local range POC, right? So this is basically what we were looking at. Okay, let's get rid of the trade for now. Okay, this is basically what we were looking at, right? We have this, of course, mini range that is kind of forming up here at all-time high, right? And all I've done is pulled a fixed range from the start of the range to where we currently are. And what we are seeing is, of course, that POC, right, coming in at approximately $89,605. Okay. And we also have a point of control, as you can see down here, at $89,580, right? So the confluence there is immense in itself, right? With that POC, with that naked point of control. Just to show you where we got this naked point of control from, let's take a look at the order flow. As you can see here, this is from last week. So this is the naked point of control that we have here. Okay, approximately, $89,580, right? That's where we've got that naked point of control from. We've tapped it, okay, and we have seen a nice bullish reaction off of it, as you can very, very clearly see here. We also pulled a fib from this local low here to this recent high. That, of course, brought the GP 786 more specifically, okay, coming in again in that region, right? So the confluence there was just absolutely amazing, exactly like I told the team here, right? Intraday support with the weekly naked point of control fib and the local range POC, right? So this was looking really, really, really nice. Now for that, cherry on the top, because again, you can see me using a fib here, and I'll only use fibs when we've got some sort of absorption, right? I will only use fibs when we have some sort of absorption, and that's exactly what we did with, of course, some lovely absorption, right? Exactly what I wanted to see here. We got the absorption. How do we know we had absorption here? How do we know that we had big players absorbing these sells into the market? Well, we can see that price is, of course, holding this bullish chart with this higher low, okay? Whereas on the CVD, we can see we are forming that lower low, right? This is telling us that there is more aggressive fires dropping out every now and then. Hopefully we are okay. But getting back to it, what does it mean, right? When we are seeing more aggressive shorts open up, okay, but price is forming a higher low. Okay, well, this tells us that there is someone here absorbing all of these sells into the market. That's why we call it absorption, right? So someone was here absorbing, right, with a big buy limit order, absorbing all of those shorts that were coming in here, right, or all of those sells, right? And we can actually take a look at the order flow and we can see, right, we 34 million, okay, plus 21 million. So in these two candles here, right, we had 55 million long trades that got wrecked. How do we know? Because we had open interest decreasing, negative delta building, right? So these were long, price, of course, was pulling back. So these were long trades getting wrecked, right? Long trades getting wrecked. And yeah, of course, that is sells in the market. And as you can see, price continued to move lower. And what did we see? We saw 30 million long trades open up. How do we know that they were, short trades open up? How do we know that these were short trades opening up? Because we had negative delta with, of course, open interest increasing, price pulling back, right? So this was, of course, shorts opening up. So we had a lot of sells coming into the market here. However, right, there was a lot less sells back here when price was at a lower price, okay? Telling us, like I said, there was someone sat here with a big buy limit order or a series of big buy limit orders, okay, who have bought up all of those sells, right? All of these here, okay? So what is that, right? That is 85 million, okay? 85 million short trades, okay, got absorbed, right? Sells got absorbed, and we saw price reverse in the opposite direction, right? Of course, all of these short trades here are now offside, right? Maybe they're not being forced to cover yet, but if price continues higher, we will most definitely see those traders get forced out of the market, right? That's kind of what we would be looking for, right? So yeah, I mean, right now we're looking good. Okay, we're looking strong, and I do think that we can look towards all-time high, right? At this moment in time, I don't see any weakness in the market, right? I don't see this in the market. So I think we can continue this move up, right? And of course, like I said here, as always, sharing with the team when I'm taking profits. I told the team here TP1, right? This, of course, was the target. So the target was, I can't exactly see it here. So what were we targeting here? It's covered up a little bit. So we were targeting $92,400 approximately. Okay, that's what I was targeting here. Well, yeah, $92,400, $500, whatever. Okay, we were targeting this high pretty much, right? We were targeting this high. So I told the team here, TP1. As we took out that high, that was the TP1. Of course, I realized $1,150 in a profit. Okay, and I still have around $354. Currently $340 unrealized in the trade because I still have around $500 left in the trade. And if we continue to read on in the chat, okay, in the Discord, we can see stop loss has been moved to entry. And then I said, I'm leaving the remaining margin in the trade to see whether we break all-time high again. Okay, as you can see there. So I've left, right, like I just showed you anyway, but here, $500 margin approximately left in the trade, right? And I'm just leaving that in there to see whether or not we get that continuation to all-time high. Because, of course, I want to take advantage of that, right? I've taken my profit. I've taken 80% profit off of this trade. To be exact, it was 77% profit off of the initial 100% capital. And I've moved the stop loss to entry, completely risk-free trade, right? Stop loss has now been moved up here to entry. Okay, so there is no risk in this trade. All I'm risking, right, is around $300. $300 in unrealized profit. That's all I'm risking. And I'm willing to risk that. Okay. I'm willing to risk that because I've taken some nice profits off of the trade. Okay. So for me, it's just a little bit of patience here. Let's see. Right. We're in a good trade. We're in a risk-free trade. Let's see where price goes from here. Do we continue higher to all-time high? Great. Okay. We can make some more profits on this long trade. Do we pull back, get stopped out at entry? Fine. We've realized $1,150 in a profit on this. Okay, so really good, really really good position to be in. Okay, really good position to be in. So for me now, right, it is just patience. Let's see. It would have been amazing to, of course, take advantage of all of this on the trading portfolio. Right, it would have been absolutely amazing to take advantage of all of that. But again, like I said, we got stopped out by literally $200, I think it was. And all it is let's move on. Let's remain patient. I've remained extremely patient, right? Extremely patient. And of course, it has now paid off, right? It's now paid off. We finally got a nice setup that I like. There have been setups here where we've seen absorption with a GP786, but I've not entertained it. The reason why I haven't entertained it is because, again, I like to look for at least 3 bits of confluence. Here, we've actually got 4 bits of confluence. 5. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 4. Yeah, 4 bits of confluence. Right, we've got the POC, naked point of control, GP786, and we've got the absorption. So there was 4 bits of confluence there, right? So this, in my eyes, is a high probability trade setup. Okay, a high probability trade setup. Whereas, there's some previous examples, for example, this one here, where we've seen the same thing, right? We've got a GP786, right? We came into the area of the GP786. And then if we take a look at the order flow here, you can see we had absorption here, right? We had absorption coming in here. We can see the CVD is telling us that there are more sells coming into the market on this move down here than there was on this move down here. Okay, however, price is looking bullish, right? All well and good, right? All well and good. But again, it's like taking it back to what I like to look for. And I like to look for at least 3 bits of confluence, whereas here, there was only 2 bits of confluence. So, okay, right, maybe you could have found some more confluence, but in terms of the analysis that I like to use, there wasn't anything there. So yeah, I mean, here, I've remained patient, waited for what I deem initially as a high probability trade, okay, and of course it's paid off, right? Of course it is now paid off. So just a quick look at the stock market as well. We've seen a little bit of a rise on the ES. Sorry, we're seeing a little bit of a rise on the ES, which of course, is always good for Bitcoin, right? Always good for Bitcoin. But yeah, initially this trade was solely entered into off of analysis on Bitcoin, right? Just plain and simple. Technical analysis, not looking at any other factors such as the stock market rising. Of course, if the stock market continues to rise, great. Okay. Of course, we can take this long trade higher. That's what we're going to be looking for. Okay. So it's just like I said, just a bit of patience here. Let's see what the outcome of this is. Let's see how far we can go with this. This is a good trade to be in, and I mean, there's many examples that I've shared in the past where we've had such a small amount of margin turn into a few $1,000s profit, right? So even though I've only got $500 margin left in the trade, if this continues, okay, let's say we headed towards 100,000. Not saying that's going to happen, but let's say we did, for example, right? This could be in over $1,000 in a profit from $500. Okay, so just because I've taken a lot of profit off of this doesn't mean that we can't make, we still can't make some really nice returns. Okay. I say this a lot where, I will take a lot of profit off of a trade and I will leave a little bit of margin in there, because that little bit of margin, if fully capitalized on and held open, right, that little bit of margin left in the trade can turn into a significant amount. So it's how I like to do it, taking the majority of the profit. Sometimes I'll take 50% if I think we can, if I think there's a strong case for continuation, but a lot of the time I'll take over 50% and leave a little bit left in there to just let that ride. Okay, literally just let that ride. I mean, previous examples are, I've had I had a long trade open from 41,000 and I had a trade open for 51,000. I closed the majority of those trades, right? But I left a little bit in there, $300 to $500, whatever it was. Okay, and that turns into a few $1,000s. Of course, they're fully closed now. It would be nice to still have them open, but again, it's when it's enough, it's enough. Never get too greedy, right? Never ever get too greedy. So if this trade is 1,000 getting back to $1,000 unrealized in a profit, I'm happy to just close that trade, even if, for example, let's say we went to 200,000. Okay, not saying that's going to happen, but if it did, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. Profit's profit. Don't get too greedy, because greed can severely ruin you. But yeah, I mean, just an amazing rise towards the upside. Of course, this is a very good rise towards the upside, but we have to be careful with this rise towards the upside, because what is it fueled by? Right, it's all fueled by longs opening up. Right, 20 million here, 4.2 million here, and then 72 million longs here. Okay, so that's a hell of a lot of long trades. And we can see right now, 11 million long trades have just got wrecked on this move down here. Okay, we're seeing longs now close out. So this is why, and again, I want to highlight this, right? Stop loss is now at entry. Okay, that is why, right? Because yes, this is a great move towards the upside. But like I say a lot of the time, these good moves towards the upside and even good moves towards the downside can turn into horribly messy moves towards the downside, or in the vice versa, horribly messy moves towards the upside. And what I mean by horribly messy moves is that we're seeing millions and millions of trades getting wiped out. Okay, one big retail mess, as I would like to call it. So that's kind of that's kind of what has happened, right? That's kind of why I've looked to enter this trade now. In all honesty, just looking at the order flow, let's have a little look here. In terms of the order flow, I don't necessarily see anything bearish. The only point at which I would say okay, this is looking bearish, is if we do, of course, get a pullback, like a bigger pullback. And we don't, okay, and we don't see absorption. I find that pretty unlikely. Okay, I do find it pretty unlikely. The reason why is because we're just seeing so much absorption at this moment. Like, ever since, ever since, where are we? Let's just have a look. Yeah, here. Let's go from. Yeah, I mean, let's go from here. So, I mean, ever since the 15th of November, literally the 15th of November, yeah, it's just been every move down has just been absorbed. Literally every move down has been absorbed, including the one that we've just seen here. So, if we do get a bit of a pullback and we do continue to see this absorption, which is looking pretty likely, in all honesty, I don't see weakness, really. I don't see weakness because yes, right, we will be seeing long trades getting stopped out. We will be seeing sells coming into the market. Okay, and again, it's that domino effect that I talk about. But if we're seeing absorption, that can of course stop that domino effect, right? So initially, you imagine let's have a look. Just to give a bit of an example, right? Right, so we've got here dominoes falling, right? Very, very simple. Going to make it very, very simple, okay? But, we've got these dominoes falling here, okay? And this is what happens when we see a long squeeze or we see a short squeeze, okay? So, yeah, where are we? Here. So, if we do start to see, right, again, we've got millions upon millions of long trades that have opened up on this move up here, right? If we start to see price continuing to pull back, you can see already we're starting to see long trades covering, right? Or long trades getting liquidated, right? If we continue to see this, right, what is going to happen? Right, this is going to happen, that domino effect of long trades closing into more long trades who sell into more long trades who close, selling into more long trades who close, just that domino effect. Right? Do we see it happen time and time and time and time again? And of course, we are here taking advantage of those, right? But when we get absorption, right? When we get absorption in the midst of this, okay? So of course, prices pulling back, we're seeing the domino effect. We're seeing longs closing into more longs, right? And just sells coming into the market, right? What happens is when the absorption occurs, when you start to see absorption, it's like taking one of those dominoes out here, okay? Just taking it out, right? And then what happens when you get there, okay? Where you've taken that domino out, okay? Well, the domino before it falls over, but it's not gonna, it's not gonna knock over this domino because it's too far away, right? That is kind of what we would expect with absorption, right? It's like taking the domino out, okay, and stopping that cascading effect of long trades getting stopped out, okay, which we see time and time again. So if we see a big pullback, right, and we continue to see absorption, this is where I would say, okay, yes, we're seeing this domino effect of long trades getting liquidated, selling into more long trades who get liquidated. So we're seeing the domino effect, but we've got absorption here. So I wouldn't initially expect this to continue much longer. Okay, I wouldn't expect it to continue. Okay, yes, maybe we see a little bit of a long squeeze, but again, if we see that absorption, right, it's kind of like taking that domino out of the tumbling dominoes, and then it comes to a halt, right? None of the other dominoes can fall when you get to to the space where you've taken out that domino. Hopefully, I've explained it in a way that you can understand, right? But basically, if we start to pull back here and we continue to get absorption, this is where I say, okay, yes, this is not looking good, but right, we can be saved by this absorption, right? So again, I just don't really see anything all that bearish up here. I just don't really see any major signs of weakness, even if we do get a pullback here. So this is kind of where I'm led to believe that we can actually make a new all-time high here. And again, that's exactly why I have left a little bit left in this trade to see if we can continue to all-time high and maybe exceed all-time high a significant amount. We will see, right? Are we going to get to 100k this time around? I think it's possible. I mean, a few months ago, if you asked me that, I would have said, I think it's a little bit too far. And I mean, I'm a trader here. Okay, I've got my HODL portfolio. I've said this time and time again. HODL portfolio for me is 5-10 years down the line. That's for the future. Okay, for now it's trading. So I don't initially care where price goes in this bull market. If we go to 100k, fine. If we go to 150k, fine. I don't really care about it though. If we've made the all-time high now and we now go into a bear market, fine. I don't care, because all I'm going to do is I'm going to trade. Right? I'm going to trade throughout the bear market, throughout the next bull market, throughout the next bear market, I'm just going to continue to trade. Of course, all of the profit, well, I wouldn't say all of the profits, but the majority of the profits, okay, for me, 80% in all honesty of the profits is actually being put into my HODL portfolio for, like I said, 5 to 10 years down the future. So yeah, I mean, I don't care where Bitcoin goes here. I only care where it goes in 5 to 10 years. And I believe that Bitcoin in 5 to 10 years could be over 250,000. But I just don't see it yet. As much as I would love to say it and love to see it as well, I just think it's a little bit unrealistic. I mean, anything's possible, but yeah, I just feel like it's a little bit unrealistic. So I don't really care where we go. It's just a case of, where are we in 5 to 10 years? That's my plan. You hear a lot of people say it's not a get rich quick scheme, and it's not, right? It's you have to spend a lot of hours, a lot of years in this market to fully understand it and fully maximize profits out of this market. You need time. You need to strategize. You need to have a plan. But yeah, it took me 2 years to finally get a plan and actually start making money in the markets, right? So patience, and if you work hard enough, get a good plan in place, you will make money in this market. But yeah, like I said in previous live streams, buying Bitcoin now, longing Bitcoin, fine, right? This is, like I said, a bit of an intraday trade. Fine, right? Buying Bitcoin here is, in my opinion, the worst possible decision that you can make. Again, this is not financial advice. If you want to buy Bitcoin, you can buy Bitcoin. But for me right now, I'm selling Bitcoin, not buying Bitcoin, right? Why? Because the time to buy Bitcoin was down here. Right, no, lower. Where are we here? We're still at 60. Right, sorry, I'm on a 30-minute chart here. Down here, right? That was the time to buy Bitcoin. If you were too scared to buy Bitcoin down here, right, then you didn't have a plan in place, right? That was the time to buy Bitcoin. Okay, I'd planned to buy Bitcoin in these areas all the way up here. Okay, that's of course when I was selling, right? That, of course, is when you're buying, right? This, of course, is when you're selling, right? Let's say this is the all-time high. We go down. This is where we're buying, right? To then take that up to all-time high again, right? That's how it is, right? If we're buying Bitcoin up here, it's a bad day, in my opinion. It's a bad day because, yeah, okay, maybe there's going to be more upside, but what you have to think about is there's not going to be much more upside, right? If you're buying Bitcoin up here, in all honesty, you're not going to make that much money, right? Because look at all of that move you've missed there, right? How much further can it go up, right? In all honesty, like, okay, maybe we can make it to 100,000, but you know, there's going to be a point where we're going to have a big pullback, and that big pullback could lead us into a possible bear market. Again, I'm not a price predictor. I'm not a bull market predictor, a bear market predictor. It's just like my strategy in investing in this market. Here is just, there's not more ups. There's, you know, we're not going to see another move like this in this bull market, right? If we do and I'm wrong, okay, right, I'll hold my hands up and say it. But do you really think it's realistic to see another move like this, a continuation up? You know, because that's what everybody was saying up here and up here, that we could, and we didn't, right? And we led into the bear market, right? So it's the case of how much more upside can we really have? Risk to reward, right? Risk to reward wise, you know, buying Bitcoin here is terrible. Down here was the opportunity. Okay, I was buying Bitcoin down here. Did I know it was going to be the low? No. Okay, you know, I was actually thinking, okay, maybe we could come down to 13,000. Okay, 13,000, but you know, we didn't. Okay, but of course, I was still buying up. I was buying up all the way to $35,000. Okay, once I remember the candle here. Okay, on this like kind of breakout candle, right? This is when I stopped buying Bitcoin, right? This is when I stopped buying Bitcoin, and I just literally sat on everything I bought, and of course, I've been taking advantage of all of that move up, right? Whereas here, you know, now I'm selling, right? I'm now selling because, yeah, I mean, how much more upside, right? Of course, I'm not sold everything, okay? And again, none of this is profit for me. This is all of course it is profit, but it's all for reinvestments, right? It's all for reinvestments. That's how I view the market. And I mean, yeah, okay, maybe we can realize a bit of profit for ourselves and, you know, buy a nice new car, go on holiday, whatever. But for me, it's the majority of it is reinvesting. And yeah, where can we be? Where can we be 5 to 10 years down the line, right? That's what it is for me. But yeah, I think I will leave that there. We'll see what happens, right? Do we make it to all-time high? Of course, you know my plan from all-time high. Do we see weakness at all-time high? Potentially. If we do, I will happily short. If we don't, okay, I will happily continue to look for higher prices. So yeah, I won't blab on for too much longer. So I won't blab on for any longer. I will leave that there. I hope you have enjoyed, and yeah, I guess I will see you in the next live stream, which will be tomorrow. Visionary members, I'll see you in the Discord, of course. But yeah, have a lovely rest of your day, and yeah, I will see you guys when I see you guys in the Discord. Okay, if you want access to the Discord, where I do give all of the trade. Yeah, this is of course the long trade that we looked at a few hours ago. What was this? Yeah, about 2 hours and 40 minutes ago now, and of course we've taken a TP1 on that. So yeah, if you want access to the Discord, that is of course the first link in the description. It will take you over to this page here, gain access to all of that education, all of the good stuff. So yeah, I will see you when I see you. Take care, and see you later. Goodbye.
Take me home, 'cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, 'cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted.